Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. All right, guys, today we are going to be going over Insecure season number 5. And I wanted to recap episodes number 2 and 3 together since I didn't get to do it. But since episode number 4 has aired, I'm going to try to just sum up episodes number 2 and 3 really quick before we move on to episode number 4. Okay, so we already know what happens in episode number 2, and I don't think I need to go into a deep recap, so I'm gonna just sum it up with, in episode 2 we saw that Issa has come a long way with her company, right? And she's even working with this designer named Crenshaw, and she was working with this other company to get him a deal or something like that. And the company wasn't really interested in him until Issa pretty much sold it to them, right? You know, she made them believe in Crenshaw. But they had one condition for the fashion show, and this condition put a major restriction on Crenshaw's freedom of expression when it comes to his art. But Issa decided that she would agree to the deal and just talk to Crenshaw about it because it was still a great opportunity. But Crenshaw was not happy about this at all, guys, and he did what he wanted to do during the fashion show anyway. And the company wound up loving it, right? So it all worked out, but Crenshaw still was not feeling Issa after that. And we'll get back to that once we start discussing episode number 4. So another thing we saw in episode number 2 was that Molly and Issa are good again, okay? They spend the night with each other just like old times. So hooray to that, right? Plus, Molly got a cute new haircut, okay, honey? Okay, folks, that does it for episode number 2. Issa meant well with Crenshaw, but she should have asked him how he felt about the request before she agreed to it, right? Now let's get into episode number 3, except we kind of already did during my video about Condola either being bitter or having first-time mommy jitters, right? So since I talked about a few scenes in that episode during that video, I just want to quickly talk about the scene that took place at Tiffany and Derek's house, right, where they had a birthday party for their baby. And I'm going to talk about maybe 2 more things after that as well. All right, so first of all, I don't see why Lawrence and Condola had to show up to the party together. But at the same time, I understand it because Condola, she doesn't know Derek and Tiffany, right? Those are Lawrence's friends and Issa's friend. But I just don't like the idea because I don't want the opportunity of them getting back together. You know, I don't want any opportunities to present themselves. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is when Lawrence and Condola started fighting over the baby. You know, like, please, guys, don't drop the freaking baby, okay? Because y'all out here acting stupid. You know, Condola over there trying to grab the baby out of Lawrence's arms and everything. And I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? If you guys go back to that scene, that episode, you're going to see the baby shaking around a little bit, all right? And I'm just like, no, you cannot be doing that, okay? Anyway, after they make a scene, Derek says to Lawrence, I need you to come help me with these boxes. And when he gets Lawrence alone, that's when he starts telling Lawrence to chill. And he went through the same thing, well, pretty much something similar with Tiffany, and that it will get better, right? And Lawrence is like, bro, y'all are married, okay? And this is so true, guys. What in Derek's right mind made him think that it was okay to compare 2 totally different situations? I just wanted to get that off my chest, okay? Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about is Condola's mother and sister's perception of Lawrence, right? They pretty much view him as a deadbeat, especially the sister, okay? Now, we all saw how much Lawrence is willing to get involved and all his attempts to make the best out of a difficult situation. But when mothers and aunties and grandmothers are doing more work than the daddy gets no love, okay? And that's no matter how good your intentions are, okay? Because the bottom line is, if they are watching the mother struggle with the baby and they got to step in and help her and fill your shoes in the void you left, then there's no other way for the family to look at you but as a deadbeat, you know? So by the end of this episode, guys, Lawrence sees that the arrangement is not working and neither are his efforts. And Condola agrees, right? So Lawrence says to her, so what do we do? And that's how episode number 3 ends, guys. And I believe that Lawrence is going to move back to LA. And I'm just hoping that him and Condola still can't get along, okay? Because like I said, I don't want them getting back together. All right. All right, guys. So now that we're up to speed, let's move on to the latest episode. Episode number 4 called Faulty. Okay. Now, before we go into this recap, guys, I just want to apologize for my voice. I know that it's on the dry side. It's pretty late and I should have just drunk a whole bunch of water because I just can't shake this dryness. All right. But anyway, guys, let's talk about episode number 4. It starts off with Issa, Molly, and Kelly walking on the beach, all right, because they've been invited to Nathan's beach party. So we find that Nathan and Issa haven't spoken since a week ago when she cried in his mouth, right? That's how she put it. Okay, so when Issa goes to say hi to Nathan, things are very awkward, and y'all know how terrible our girl gets in awkward situations, okay? She just makes them more weird. Bless your heart, Issa. So Nathan excuses himself from Issa, and eventually her and the girls sit down to play spades with a few of Nathan's friends. Actually, Issa is just watching because she can't play spades. So anyway, we also see that Molly is back on the prowl, guys, okay? She is definitely trying to get back on the dating scene. But actually, in this episode, it seems more like she was into getting it in than anything else. But the point is, a few of Nate's boys were interested in Molly and she was filling them all out. So as time goes on, there's a little earthquake and the beach gets shut down in case a tsunami occurs. So Nathan tells everyone to bring the party to a bar. You know, drinks are going to be on the shop. So on the way to the bar, we get to hear how Nathan feels about the situation with Issa. During the ride there, he tells his boys that Issa is all over the place and that she doesn't know what she wants. He also tells them that she cried on him. So his friends was like, yeah, man, she done friend zoned you and you do give off them cry on my shoulder type vibes, right? But then the dude in the back seat tells Nathan that Issa wants to be more than friends or else she wouldn't be meeting them at the bar. And I was like, please don't put any ideas in his head, okay? Like, let him continue acting funny towards Issa because I don't want them getting together. Plus, the dude in the back seat didn't know that Issa was only coming to the bar for Molly, right? Because Molly was still trying to see which dude she could connect with. But to be fair, Issa was acting a little jealous over Nathan and Risha being a little too touchy-feely. So it's obvious that Issa likes Nathan and I don't like that. We also see that Crenshaw is being super petty and he's trying to blast Issa on Twitter and call her a fraud, even though she helped him get exposure. So Issa tries to ignore it, but later on we see that she responds to him with saying something like, you're doing too much, like if this is your way of saying thank you for all the exposure I got you, you know, something to that effect, guys, okay? Right? But it was probably not the best move that she could make, okay? But we'll find out, right? So next, everybody gets to the bar and Issa tells Nathan that she's sorry for the other night. But she also asked him why he left her like that because she kind of expected him to stay, right? And Nathan was like, I didn't know we had expectations of each other. And I was like, okay, you know, that's fair enough, but you could have told the girl you were leaving. But anyway, guys, he apologized for kissing her and she says, no, it's my fault because I should have never asked you to spend the night, which is true. So that was that, right? Then Nathan's cousin comes in with his wife, and when the wife said hi to him in a super weird way, I was like, did they have sex or something? Because it was awkward, you know, mostly on Nathan's part though. So when they all sit down and talk, we find out that Nathan ghosted them too, okay? So everybody that knows Nathan started talking about how this Negro just be gone with the wind fabulous, okay? But Issa jumps in for the save, talking about, oh, I'm glad the wind blew him my way because he taught me how to be planted like a tree or something like that, she said, right? And I was like, Issa, instead of trying to go in for the save, you need to be looking at this huge red flag waving in front of your face, okay? This dude has a history of running off, which means he's unstable, unpredictable, and can't be trusted. On top of that, guys, Issa didn't even know the man had family living so close by. And that should say a lot, you know? But these are all my thoughts before the end of the episode, and we're going to get there. Okay, so next, everyone gets to the club where Jason Derulo is performing. So Molly gets in with Nate's boy, and she tells the rest of the squad that she's going to try to see if she can sneak them in through a back door. which she eventually makes happen. But by this time, Nathan's cousin already called a lift. So before he leaves, him and Nathan have a quick talk. And here's where we find out why Nathan had that weird energy toward Velma, which is his cousin's wife, right? Because she kicked him out when he was staying with them. But Nathan's cousin tells him that it's not all on Velma. It was actually him who was uncomfortable with having Nathan around, because first he showed up without any heads up. Then he would be gone for days on end, and he was even leaving the door unlocked, right? And they got kids. So as a man, you can definitely see why Nathan's cousin was uncomfortable, because it's like Nathan was jeopardizing the protection of his cousin's family, So Nathan tells his cousin that he's not like that anymore. And when it's time to get in the lift, his cousin tells him that they should talk more. So now Issa comes to the front and she's like, oh, Molly's about to get us in and everything, right? And Nathan tells her that he needs a minute. But Issa doesn't give him a minute. Like, she gives him a few seconds, and then there she is, like, are you okay? And so he tells Issa that during the time that he stayed with his cousin, he was manic, and he didn't know at the time. But his cousin didn't know as well, right? He never got a chance to tell his cousin. And he really would have liked his cousin to see that he got his life all together now. And eventually he was just like, but, screw it. I'm tired of trying to prove myself. I'm tired of trying to change how people see me and all of this stuff. And I was just like, oh gosh, here we go. Like, him and Issa are about to have a moment. And you already know it definitely turned into a moment because Issa was like, oh, I feel you and all of this stuff. And Issa was saying that, that night when she cried on him, it didn't have anything to do with him. Like, last year was a lot for her. And right now she's kind of like walking on eggshells and she's afraid, right? And she kind of feels like she's waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that's really a horrible way to live. And I do feel for her. But I don't like the fact that in episode 1, she told Molly that right now is a time in her life where she just feels like she wants to move forward. And then here you have her in this episode telling Nathan that she wants to be more than friends with him. And it's like, boo, you've been there and you've done that. If you're going to tell your friend that you're ready to move forward in life, why the heck would you go backwards to Nathan? Like, if you can't make it work with Lawrence, like the love of your life, why the heck would you go backwards to Nathan after you already declared you moving forward? Okay, that right there annoys me. Okay, and so I am very upset by the end of this episode, guys, because Nathan also says to her, I don't want to be just friends with you either. And I'm just like, oh gosh. And don't get me wrong, guys, I do like Nathan, but I don't like him for Issa. I don't want him to be with Issa because I want Lawrence to be with Issa, all right? This is so annoying, guys, and I'm worried. I'm really worried because we're about to go into the 5th freaking episode, okay? And we already know, guys, that this series has 8 episodes, okay? So I'm scared. All I'm saying is I'm getting scared. Now, I know that I didn't get to watch this full interview where Issa was saying how people kept telling her, don't Game of Thrones it. All right, many of y'all that have watched Game of Thrones, you know exactly what that means, okay? And I'm getting scared, guys. I'm telling you. And to be honest, there's been some kind of trend where a lot of these series, they have not been ending very satisfactory to me, right? In my opinion. And so I'm really afraid. Now, I would say that Insecure, the writers on here, they're awesome, but I'm still scared, all right? We on episode 5 and Lawrence and Issa haven't even talked. Yeah, I think there's something to be scared of, guys. I would not be surprised if Lawrence and Issa do not find their way back together, guys. I just won't be surprised. So they got a lot of work to do between next week and what, 3 more weeks after that? Shoo. We got a month to figure this out, guys. And that was the episode Let me know what y'all thought. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Please let me know how y'all feel about Issa and Nathan connecting again, okay? Now, I do appreciate that Nathan, he's trying to change his life around. He's probably on meds now or whatever and taking care of himself, right? But the fact that he didn't tell Issa that he had family close by, do y'all think that that's an issue? Let me know, okay? So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.